Hello and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Global TV News Cycle. We're live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Uyi Agbofwebe. President Bola Tinubu has appointed Jamila Bio Ibrahim as Minister of Youth. The president also appointed Ayodele Olawande to serve as Minister of State for Youth. Their nomination for the positions precedes their confirmation by the Senate. Ajire Ngalale, Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, announced the development in a statement on Sunday. The position of Minister of Youth became vacant after the President had redeployed Abubakar Momo to the Ministry of Niger Delta Development, NDDC. Similarly, the President, Bola Tinubu, has approved the nomination of Dr. Olayemi Michael Cardoso to serve as the new Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, for a term of 5 years at the first instance, pending his confirmation by the Nigerian Senate. Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ajire Ngalale, said the directive is in conformity with Section 8, Subsection 1 of the Central Bank of Nigeria Act 2007, which vests in the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria the authority to appoint a governor and 4 deputy governors for the Central Bank of Nigeria, subject to confirmation by the Senate. Similarly, President Tinubu has approved the nomination of 4 new deputy governors of the Apex Bank for a term of 5 years at the first instance, pending their confirmation by the Nigerian Senate. The deputy governors are Nana Usoro, Mohammed Sani Abdullahi Datijo, Philip Ikazo, and Dr. Bala Bello. In a different development, President Bola
Briefing State
Tinubu
House
has been
correspondent
scheduled to depart Abuja on Sunday for the United States to attend the 78th UN General Assembly, which will take place from September 18 to 26, 2023 in New York City. Our correspondent reports that the president on the sidelines of the UNGA is scheduled to prioritize investment drive as part of his conversations with his counterparts around the world in advance of his objective of aggressive economic development and diplomatic pursuits, as well as attracts foreign direct investments into the country, as he did at the recent G20 summit in India.
Briefing State House correspondents, Special Advisor on Media and Publicity to the President, Ajire Ngalale, stated that President Tinubu will actively participate in 2 major summits at the UN, aside from the general debates of the Assembly. President Tinubu, according to him, will also meet with major chief executives and leaders of multinational firms cutting across multiple sectors of the economy as part of a series of crucial meetings and side activities that will have wide-ranging ramifications on the Nigerian economy.
Sunday, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be departing Abuja for New York to attend the United Nations General Assembly of 2023. Of course, aside from the engagements he's going to be having at the General Assembly, aside from the active participation that the Nigerian delegation will be engaging in at the Assembly, there are a series of very important side activities that will have wide-ranging ramifications on the Nigerian economy. The President, again, focusing in on his economic development diplomacy, will be having investment at the front and center of his conversations with his counterparts around the world. And these engagements include bilateral meetings on the sidelines with the President of the United States, with the President of Comoros, with the President of South Africa, with the President of the European Union Commission, with the Prime Minister of the Netherlands, with the King of Jordan, with the Algerian President, with the Brazilian President, and with the Spanish Prime Minister.
Similarly, the president will also be presiding over the Nigeria Small and Medium-Scale Business Summit to ensure that Nigeria keys in on opportunities that are being presented by Nigeria-owned small and medium-scale enterprises. The presidential spokesman said this is aimed at attracting foreign direct investment, jobs, and new tax revenues to the shores of the country. Uyi Agbofwebe, reporting for Global Television News.
The 57th training session for young African journalists has kicked off in Cairo, Egypt, with a call for professionalism and data reporting among journalists on the continent. The president of the Union of African Journalists, UAJ, Mahfouz Lanseri, who declared the 57th training session open on Sunday at the National Radio and Television House of Egypt, called on young journalists to be vanguards of national unity while holding government accountable. The event, which was attended by the Secretary General of the Union of African Journalists, Dr. Seynab Abbas, and the first Vice President of the Supreme Council for Media Regulation, Saleh El Sali, served as an avenue for journalists from different countries to converge in Cairo and discuss key issues in journalism practice. Secretary General of the Union of African Journalists, Dr. Samia Abbas, noted that the training was established in 1974 with the collaboration of other African unions. And following the numerous challenges posed by the continued presence of unauthorized persons on the various highways around the country in the guise of revenue collection, the Acting Inspector General of Police, IGP Olukayode Egbeteku, has ordered all state commissioners of police to immediately commence the dismantling of such non-security points within their areas of responsibility. Kekalama Okere reports that the acting IGP gave the order while meeting with strategic police managers in Abuja.
Received by the police operatives, some officers are engaging in mischievous activities such as the seizure of vehicles, collection of fines, and other unlawful activities in the checkpoint. In lieu of this, the acting Inspector General of Police stated that to ensure accountability and transparency within the force, the Nigerian Police Force has taken steps such as reinforcing the IGP monitoring unit and the complaint response unit based at the force headquarters to arrest violators and prosecute after dismantling the checkpoints.
We are equally aware of the challenge posed by the continued presence of unauthorized persons on the various highways around the country in the guise of revenue collection, who constantly constitute nuisance on the highways by obstructing the flow of traffic and engaging in mischievous activities such as the seizure of vehicles, collection of fines, and other unlawful activities. All state commissioners of police are hereby directed to immediately commence the dismantling of such non-security checkpoints within their areas of responsibilities and arrest all violators for prompt prosecution.
He maintained that directive has earlier been given to all state commissioners of police to CRU officers in their respective state command headquarters as part of the force commitment to combating corruption and improve professionalism in the Nigerian police force, adding that commissioners of police who are yet to comply are given a deadline of 3 weeks from today to do so. The acting Inspector General of Police further highlighted some of the breakdowns recorded under his administration by the police force in the last 5 weeks.
Our committed officers have demonstrated relentless determination in upholding law and order through meticulously planned and well-coordinated operations driven by actionable intelligence. The Nigerian police force has effectively disrupted multiple infamous criminal syndicates involved in organized crimes, leading to arrests of 288 armed robbery suspects, 187 kidnap suspects, 198 homicide suspects, 59 suspects for possession of prohibited firearms, 168 suspects involved in cases of rape, defilement, and other sexual offenses, 265 suspected cultists, and 1,891 suspects for various crimes.
The IGP, however, declared that the police is poised to support the efforts of government by providing the needed security and enabling environment for all legitimate businesses and other economic activities in the country, adding that any attempt by scrupulous elements to sabotage the economic revival will be met with stiff opposition from the police force. Kekalama Okere, Global Television News, Abuja.
The British High Commission is set to explore partnerships with the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, with a focus on renewable, clean energy and green infrastructure in the Niger Delta region. The Second Secretary, Political, British High Commission in Abuja, Hamish Chai, disclosed this when he led a delegation that visited the NEDC Managing Director, Dr. Samuel Ogbuku, at the Commission's headquarters in Port Harcourt. Tai observed that the NEDC had shown commitment to realizing sustainable development in the Niger Delta region through partnerships and collaborations with national and international development agencies. The NEDC Chief Executive Officer told the British delegation that the Commission had made public-private partnerships, PPP, the core policy focus to drive the development of the region. You're watching Global TV News Cycle, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja, where Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles as you now see on your screen. When Global TV News Cycle returns, federal government holds investors for Nigeria's lithium deposits. We'll tell you more about this and bring you other stories right after this short break. Please don't go away. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of News Cycle from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. The leaders of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger have on Saturday signed a charter establishing a defense alliance. Ministerial delegations from the 3 Sahel countries announced at the press conference. Head of Mali's ruling junta, Assimi Goïta, posted on X, where he stated that together with the heads of state of Burkina Faso and Niger, he had signed the Liptako Gourma Charter establishing the Alliance of Sahel States, also called AES, the aim of which is to establish architecture of collective defense and mutual assistance for the benefit of the nation's populations. The 3 countries are battling the jihadist insurgency that erupted in northern Mali in 2012 and spread to Niger and Burkina Faso in 2015. All 3 countries have also undergone coups since 2020, most recently in Niger, where soldiers in July had overthrown President Mohamed Bazoum. In the meantime, Tijani Muhammad Bandi, Nigeria's permanent representative to the United Nations (UN), says the recent coups in African countries are regressing democracy on the continent. Speaking with the news agency of Nigeria in New York on Saturday, Muhammad Bandi said the effects of the coups would spiral into a setback for prosperity, adding that African countries fought for the sovereignty of their nations and should be at liberty to choose how they would live. Signs of discontent within the Nigerian armed forces are mounting. Soldiers, both non-commissioned officers and others, do not feel supported or protected by the junta's generals. The latter are more concerned with protecting their financial interests and already shaky footing in power with defending the interests of their subordinates. No longer listening to their men, the junta seems increasingly isolated while popular anger rumbles. Elsewhere, Nigeria's delegation to the G77 Plus China Summit, led by Vice President Kashim Shettima, on Saturday signed a memorandum of understanding with the Republic of Cuba to enhance collaboration in innovation, science, and technology between the 2 countries. State House Director of Information, Office of the Vice President, Olusola Abiola, revealed in a statement signed on Saturday that the areas of cooperation covered by the bilateral agreement include biotechnology, scientific investigation and innovation, technological development, human resources development, specialist exchange in the area of science and technology, as well as technologies transfer for development. Abiola said the signing ceremony, which took place on the sidelines of the G77 Plus China Summit at Hotel Pacho La Habana, is the high point of Nigeria's participation at the summit. Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Uche Nanji, signed on behalf of Nigeria, while Cuba's Minister of Science, Technology and Environment, Elba Montoya, signed on her country's behalf. The Ministry of Solid Minerals has made efforts to attract investors to explore lithium deposits in the country. A statement by the ministry's Deputy Director of Information, Alaba Balogun, said on Friday at the exhibition booth of the Ministry of Solid Minerals at the Pan Pacific Hotel during the 21st Africa Down Under Conference in Perth, Australia. The statement disclosed that investors showed interest in the country's minerals. The statement says presenting a robust case for investment in the country's mining industry. Minister of Solid Minerals, Dele Alake, had highlighted plans to set up the Nigerian Solid Minerals Corporation as the interface between the global mining industry and Nigeria, adding that the laws permits investors to take profits out. The minister also assured investors of safety, reiterating that the government has given illegal miners 30 days to join cooperatives in addition to plans to deploy surveillance task force and mine police to combat criminals at the mines. Minister of Marine and Blue Economy Adegboyega Oyetola has charged member states of the Abuja Memorandum of Understanding on Port State Control for West and Central African region to comply with the requirement for member states to inspect at least 15% of vessels calling at their ports. Oyetola, who disclosed this at the 13th Port States Control Committee meeting of the Abuja MOU hosted by the government of the Republic of Cote d'Ivoire in Abidjan, also urged member states to achieve full ratification and domestication of all relevant instruments. Also, the Director General, Nigeria Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, Dr. Bashir Jamal, noted that the Maritime Administration in Nigeria is committed to effective implementation of regulatory instruments in Nigeria. Speaking at the event, the minister, who doubles as the vice chairman of the Abuja MOU, emphasized the need for regulators and stakeholders of member states to ensure their maritime domains remain safe, secured, and environmentally friendly. Let's take a look at sports now. Amidst the ongoing controversy surrounding the exclusion of Nigerian match officials from AFCON 2023 duties, Senator John Eno, Minister of Sports Development, has expressed the need for an immediate meeting with the Nigerian Premier Football League and PFL club owners and referees. The minister has personally requested to engage with the stakeholders before the upcoming Elite League season kicks off, aiming to convey official communication. It will be recalled that the Confederation of African Football, CAF, had listed 85 referees of various departments ahead of the AFCON. However, no referee from Nigeria was selected amongst those shortlisted for the course, signaling a possible absence of the country's match officials at the Nations Cup next year. And that's it on Global TV News Cycle, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I'm Uyi Agbomofuegbe. Thank you so very much for watching. I'll see you again very soon.